Yes, guys. Good morning. Welcome to another show, guys. We had a very exciting night at fighting last night. Boxing. We have Deontay Wilder versus Zhang. We had yes, guys. So let's get into the show right now. Let's get into this boxing match that happened last night with Wilder versus Zhang. Like I said, very disappointing fight for Dante last night. People, is it me? Is it me? Because these two boxers, I didn't see no jab. People, who will establish a jab? I don't understand how for all these years, people, for all these years, Dante Wilder been boxing and he doesn't have the fundamental down of boxing. Talking about establishing a jab. There was no jab. All he's doing is holding out his hand and doing nothing. People, you know what I mean? It seemed to me, people. It seemed to me Dante Wilder desire for boxing is not there no more. You know what I mean? We get into a little bit of as Hearns. Eddie Hearns said something about Dante Wilder last night, and I believe that statement is to be true. It's just his body demeanor and just the way he came in the ring. I just mentally he wasn't there. Physically, yes, his body was there in the ring, but mentally he was not there, guys. He was not there. It's just his body language, his tone, it's just his overall apparel. It's not a good, it's not a good thing. You know what I mean? And I just don't understand over the years in Dante Wilder camp. No one, I don't understand. You cannot be a fighter or excuse me, you cannot be a brawler. And we all know Dante Wilder over the years established himself as a brawler. You know, we all know he have amazing knockout power, but there's gonna be a time in boxing where you can't rely on the power anymore. You have to rely on skills, talent, establish your jab. These two fighters, I didn't see that last night. Nobody established a jab. Everyone is looking for that big punch, and unfortunately, Dante Wilder was on the receiving end of that punch by Zhang. That was a nice hard punch. You know what I mean? Dante Wilder, I don't know, guys. I just don't know. He's just not there no more, guys. He's not there no more. Listen. So I'm gonna read something. What Eddie Hearn said last night about Dante Wilder, and I think it's a true statement. According to Eddie Hearns um does not think Dante Wilder has belief anymore. So he's saying that Dante Wilder, his belief in himself is not there no more, and I think Dante Wilder called it he quit. He retired. Or he's done with people. Promoter Eddie Hearn doesn't believe Dante Wilder is the same fighter who held the WBC heavyweight title for 2015 to 2020 for 5 years. We all know that he look and it appeared that he's a different fighter, guys. He's not the same. Wilder was stopped for the third time in his career on Saturday night at Kingdom Arena in Saudi Arabia. Zhang, who overwhelmed Wilder by 70 pounds. And guys, check this out. Check this out, guys. Wilder came in, if I'm what 200 and what 14 or 18 pounds. I don't understand. Why will you come in so light? This guy Zhang is almost 300 pounds. You know what I mean? It's wow. I just let me continue, guys. Knock him out in the fifth round. The winner made a clean sweep of you know Queensberry promotion over Hearns Matchroom Boxing in fifth event. After the fight, Wilder 43-4 appeared frustrated, object to the stoppage, despite being floored heavily and unsteady legs. Zhang record is 27-2 and with 22 knockout. Celebrate one of his biggest victory at the age of 41. Hearns, meanwhile, gave his honest thought on the man he entrusts to be the team captain. In all honest, Hearns told Fight Club TV about the 38-year-old Wilder performance. I just feel he believe is not there anymore. You have to ask yourself why. Is it just the time? Is it something not right? He is not landing his hands. He's not letting his hands go, and this is what made him one of the most fair fighter in the world. Hearn said, fighter. That is a very important. Hearns is saying fighter. Why you not saying boxer? And that's the problem. Deontay Wilder is not a boxer. He's a brawler. And even if he was a fighter, you have to have the fundamentals down, guys. And it appeared to me his corner, his team has let down Deontay Wilder over the years. I don't know if it's Deontay Wilder attitude towards training, but this man do not have a jab. And for a man his size was 6'4", 6'7", you know what I mean, to come in very lean but very light, he should be at least around 220 or 225. And it just seemed the punch that Zhang caught him with, people, it just turned Wilder around, completely turned his direction, and Zhang came in with that heavy punch, floored him. Deontay Wilder came up on wobbly legs. I believe it was a very good stoppage. He believed it wasn't, but I believe it was a very good stoppage, people, because believe me, if the referee didn't stop the fight, Deontay Wilder would have been laid out flat, out cold in the ring. You know what I mean, guys? You know what I mean? Leave your comment. Am I wrong? Am I overdoing it? Deontay Wilder, people, he never Deontay Wilder is not a boxer. To me, Deontay Wilder is a brawler, is a fighter. And even if you're a fighter, you gotta have some type of discipline, how you throw your punch, how you set up your punch. No head movements, nothing. Just a brawler. You want to go in the ring. You want to you want to enforce your will and other fighters, but they're not having it. And it's sad how Deontay Wilder's career for the last 4 years, wind up. It's not, Tyson, then this with Zhang, what I mean, it's not looking good right now. So it seemed to me that Deontay Wilder is no longer have the same mustard or snap in his boxing career or attitude towards it to be a better boxer, not a brawler. You know what I mean? Anyone could go in the ring and brawl, but the problem is, are you disciplined enough to control yourself in a brawler? That is where a boxer skill come in, where you're disciplined, where you pace yourself, you set up your punches, movements. None of that. I'm not seeing Deontay Wilder doing that over the couple of years, guys. And I just believe his corner, he need to change his training. He need to change something. If he's going to continue, he need to change his old fight in a pair. And at this age, at 30 years old, for you to change your fight, the way you fight people, it's not easy. You know what I mean? If he continue in boxing, it's not going to end good. Shout out to Zhang, you know what I mean? But he also need to establish a jab. None of these fighters have jabs. You know what I mean? What happened to the snapping jab? People, if Deontay Wilder have a jab, he'd be a much better boxer. Much better boxer. He doesn't have that snapping jab, but it's playing with, it's to me, but it show you where boxing has come over the last couple of years. You have boxing, it's a mess right now. I'm going to go on record like this and say, if there's a fight between a boxing match between Francis Ngannou and Deontay Wilder, I believe Francis would knock out Deontay Wilder. People, I believe Francis have more body movement, more head movement, just a little more boxing skill than Deontay Wilder at his career at 30 years old. Guys, thank you for joining me this morning. Make sure you share, like, subscribe if you like the platform. Until next time.